some.
I love a nice steel book.
Yeah, they had some crazy.
Hey, Adam.
Hey.
Shut up and welcome to ComicCast issue number 159, brought to you by Dwayne's World Comics and Games, 457 East Sullivan Street in Kingsport, Tennessee. Oh, that's beautiful. They carry comic books, graphic novels, statues, toys, and gaming merchandise, including miniature games, board games, and RPGs. Check them out. Dwayne's World Comics and Games, Kingsport, Tennessee. My name's Boogie Bentley.
And I'm back. Adam Wade Adams.
He's back. Hey. I'm Jason.
And this is Gilmer.
Are you Jason? Or are you Comics Must Explain?
Or Pugman.
Pugman.
Pugman today. Yeah.
We are at ComicCast Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, wherever you get social with your media. Also, if you're listening to this on YouTube, do us a favor, hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Or if you're listening to it via the Outright Geekery Podcast Network, I guess you can leave reviews. I don't know how iTunes works. I don't really care, but shout out to Outright Geekery. Also, if you want to catch the amazing pre-show, you can do that at patreon.com/ComicCastPod. It was a good one this week. And as always, all the links are in the description. Who we got hanging out in the live chat? We got William Pace. William Pace hanging out early. Yule Carter is disappointed because he can't listen live.
Oh, Billy. Billy.
Chad Johnson hanging out as always. His goal today is to drink this malt liquor with the same intensity of Adam drinking a 2 liter of Diet A&W. I got a 7 and 7 myself, but I'll cheers to that.
Also has some blackjack gum.
Nice.
Yeah.
Except from the comic book.
That's
no. God,
this tastes like black licorice.
4 seconds of flavor.
Gross. I hate black licorice. I hate
4
licorice.
seconds of flavor.
Yeah, licorice.
We're a Twizzler
Who
family.
likes licorice? Does anybody really like licorice?
Oh,
I love it. I am a licorice monster.
Yeah, I'm a red vine.
Like a boomer generation treat.
You got any Werther's originals in your pocket?
No, but I got a butterscotch.
That's
Would you like a butterscotch?
I would have died if you pulled one out of your pocket.
Yeah, I got my Werther's originals.
Little Boogie would come to my house and he would say, "Do you got a comic book and a butterscotch, Mr. Adam Wade Adams, sir?"
I'll mow your grass for a nickel.
Dude, I won't even mow my grass. It is a nightmare out there.
And I'd say, get your Vols talking butt off of my lawn.
Oh, we're going there already? You know what? The Vols game, I don't want to talk about it. I was depressed. It sucked. I was very disappointed. But AEW pulled me out of the gutter, man, with another pay-per-view
Cody Rhodes
last
come
night.
out wearing Star Trek stuff.
I
awesome.
intentionally didn't mention that to you in the pre-show because I was wondering if you saw it.
I did see that. Yes, I did.
saw Chris Jericho won.
Yeah, I saw that too.
The Cody Rhodes Star Trek stuff. I thought Gaumer would dig that. I was like, I guess it's Star Trek. I don't know. Randy Rhodes was wearing something nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what else happened.
Who is that character? What's the name?
What are you talking about?
Cody Rhodes?
No, I saw the girl also. She was wearing the
it's Brandy Rhodes. It was Cody's wife.
So. Yeah, but she was wearing the what's that Star Trek character though?
I didn't see that, dude.
It was all silver. It was all silver. She had like a mask thing on her face.
The silver mask, is it like 6 of 9 or 9?
7 of 9?
7 of 9, that's it. Yeah. The lady in the 7. I mean in the silver.
Yeah.
So, and even though that Gaumer wants to watch people like Goldberg and freaking Undertaker.
Who said this?
You said it.
What?
I'm so excited for Goldberg tonight. It's gonna be great.
I don't.
Meanwhile,
I must have been drinking.
You crap on Jericho, and he tore the house down with Adam Page.
He did. I do remember shitting on Jericho being an old man, but yeah, he did great.
He confused.
Did you watch it last night?
No, but my kid watches it, so I ducked in there every now and again. He had a bunch of buddies over watching.
He watches it illegal for sure, right?
Yeah, of course. We don't watch anything legal. What are you talking about? Dude, it's the 21st century. Nothing costs anything anymore. It's Star Trek, okay?
Yes, it does.
I pay for it because I try to be a good human being.
You're nice. You're so nice.
Yeah, whatever.
Mr. Adam Wade Adams,
Mr.
can I buy some AEWs,
Mr.
please?
Boogie's
Man, we
reading
are
the
off to a
newspaper.
great start. Can we kick Adam off the show this week?
Mr. Boogie's reading the newspapers.
Can we bring Ryland Grant back?
I like watching the Chris Jerichos and the Codys.
I can't stop picturing a Weathers original covered in like felt, like pocket felt
Yeah.
and like pocket sand.
I got a loose one in here somewhere.
Looks like that gum Adam was going to eat for the super chat.
Yeah.
I picked a fight with an old man on the beach, and he threw a bunch of Werther's originals in my face.
Chad Johnson wants the link for that illegal AEW show. Hey, man. They're the
I
alternative.
don't know how that works. I'm old. My kid does that. I don't know how any of that works.
Yeah, you should have seen Gomer trying to set up his microphone earlier.
Dude, I'm still setting up. I have stuff falling all over the place.
I don't trust any of that.
Speaking of super chats, our freaking video got demonetized with Ryland Grant because of the amount of F-bombs.
There was
that
like
were
what, 2,
dropped.
3?
No, he dropped quite a few.
Really?
You dropped 2 or 3, and it usually slides. We did get flagged that one time, and I was like, guys, we gotta watch the I was like, we gotta watch the F-bombs. And then like 2 hours later, they approved it. I was like, we're all good. Ryland Grant can say whatever. Yeah. They're like, no, we looked at it. Nobody's advertising on this.
Jeez.
So you can make up for that with a super chat. I'm just saying.
You can't milk Chad every single episode.
Yeah, Chad's the only one in the live chat right now. He's like, dude, I'm broke. I'm living on the street.
Yeah.
Where's Serenity? Yule's not in here. Man, it's just a private party.
Are we not
Late.
enough, Boogie?
It's late.
Well, we had 65 last night for Talking Balls. No pressure.
Well, everybody was still hot and excited
No
and
pressure.
drunk.
Yeah, they're mad.
Maybe
drunk.
if we have a bunch of comics that suck, maybe we'll get a bunch more people in the chat.
No, Chad Johnson's asking. No, if they demonetize the video, all that means is you can't advertise on it. So all the super chats still come through to us. YouTube takes their percentage.
It's like 50%,
But it's just
right?
yeah, it's a pretty good percent.
Also, YouTube says, no, you can't do that. But if you do, we're still going to take some money from you.
No, but that's the thing.
Thanks,
That's
Google.
the thing.
Sure.
If YouTube's going to say Jason drops too many F-bombs, we're not going to let you monetize that. Guess what? Our listeners can stick it to the man and say, well, here's the super chat. So
And then
YouTube
Google's still
can't
going to
flag
take some money.
Yeah.
Hey, whose side are you on?
I'm
man?
probably going to get flagged for doing that, for saying that. Oh, we
Yeah,
don't
stop
advertise
talking
if you
about
talk
YouTube.
smack on Google.
Stop
Man.
talking about YouTube. Let's talk about Disney.
Oh, my gosh.
Last week, because of Ryland Grant, man, we didn't really talk about all the Disney Plus announcements.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of them.
You guys excited or don't
Yeah,
care?
I'm stoked for
I
midnight.
don't really
That's what's
care.
for midnight.
Hooray.
It's going to be like a PG-13 Moon Knight, which I guess is okay.
Yeah.
No, it'll still be Moon Knight, but we'll see how it goes.
Not as good as the HBO Moon Knight.
Yeah.
True.
I mean,
Did anybody
better on
read
HBO.
Lemire's Moon Knight?
Yeah,
when
it
they
was
did-
good.
That's my
Was it
favorite.
good?
Yeah, it's my favorite. I got a hardcover edition.
Like I dug Bendis's Moon Knight, but I'd never read Lemire's Moon Knight, and
Oh,
I
it's
kind of
amazing.
want to go
Of
back
course
and read
it's
it.
good. It's Lemire. Come on.
Yeah,
I know.
and the art
Man.
is incredible too. Greg
Come
Smallwood.
on.
Yeah. It was more the Star Wars stuff for me that I was excited about. I am excited about the movies. I am a fan of the movies. I don't care, what the haters say.
Mhm.
I think the movies are cool. And the Mandalorian, holy crap.
That's the whole reason,
Looks
really.
Oh
amazing.
my
Yeah.
god, dude! If you'd have shown me that trailer and I knew nothing, I'd been like, "Oh wow, the new Star Wars movie looks great." It's not a movie. It's gonna be like 8 hours of awesome.
It's like 8 movies.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
8 and 4. Yeah, like it's a lot of movies. I can't wait, dude. It looks
Yeah, I've
so
seen
good.
people talking about the production, like, oh, you can tell it's a TV show. I'm like, can you?
Not really.
Can you?
Yeah, I
It
could.
looks like a movie to me.
Yeah,
But I'm with Gomer. I'm a fan. I don't care what the haters say. I loved The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely
yeah, me too. Me too.
loved it.
Mm.
The next one, what's it? The Last
There we
Jedi.
Thanks, bro. Ruined it. Ruined
Not
it.
so good.
Hey.
Not so good.
Burn it. We just retcon this. Forget it exists.
Yeah.
Chad Johnson's dropping a super chat, $1.99. Thank you for the super chat. He
Yeah.
says F-U-C-K.
Nice.
You
Awesome.
spelled
That's
it
how
out
you
like
stick
a
it to
barnyard
YouTube.
animal song.
That's how you stick it to YouTube. Thanks, Chad, for the super chat. Chad was the big winner for Free Comic Friday this week. We gave all the codes away to one person.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
I really wanted to push it for people to listen to that Ryland Grant interview because it was
Yeah.
so good. And it had nothing to do with me and Gomer. It was all his personality, his charisma, how he tells stories. Just
Well,
such
I
an
mean,
interesting dude. Shut up, Gomer. Don't make me mute you for the first time ever.
I'm interesting too.
I wanted people to
Yes.
hear that. So, I made that little clip on Twitter, and just all you had to do to enter was retweet that. Let people hear, although I give Gomer credit because Ryland Grant's telling this story, and at the very end, Gomer says, "Tell me exactly how do you get really good at poker?" End scene. So it was cool. But yeah, congratulations to Chad for winning free Comic Friday. You can follow us on Twitter at ComicCast Pod to find out more. What else? What else from Disney Plus you guys excited about besides Moon Knight? That Loki show, of course, that's not new. What was new? Miss Marvel.
She-Hulk was new. Miss Marvel.
Yeah, She-Hulk
was
and Miss
new.
Marvel. Trying to think there's something else too.
Moon Knight, yeah. They had more.
I think there's some like
She-Hulk
HBO.
will be good if they go with the original comic, or the main run comic. I guess I would say.
Probably like a lawyer.
What they're gonna do? Yeah.
Charles Soule had a Matlock. We're gonna watch Matlock,
right? Charles Soule had a run where he was following her, doing her law practice thing. So that would work.
Bow, 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 bow. She-Hulk.
Dude,
oh yeah,
right.
Falcon
Their
and
theme
Bucky.
song right now.
Shout out to Jonathan Hedrick. He's another regular for Free Comic Friday. Thanks for jumping in here in the live chat. Glad to have you, man.
Yeah, I want to see Zemo. I want to see hardcore Zemo, man.
Yeah,
I want to see Zemo. Yeah, with the weird ski mask and being like he is in Punisher, kind of funny, sadistic.
That's on the scrambled channels to see hardcore Zemo.
Dude, if we keep
watching illegal channels.
If this podcast keeps going, I'm going to be scrambled eventually. Look at my camera just going nuts up there, man.
I love it.
Heck?
I love it.
I'm going to have to spend $50. Brand new laptop. I'm going to have to buy a webcam for freaking $50. Such is life. Did you guys watch the I know we're talking a little bit about Star Wars. Did you guys watch the new Rise of Skywalker trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks cool.
No.
I mean, it was like a really cool trailer. It's like a teaser.
Yeah, it kind of pissed me off playing
teaser.
on nostalgia. I didn't like that.
I think they're all like that. You have to do it. Like, I think that the classic formula is have the nostalgia to bring in the old fans, and then with a new twist with some new characters at the same time, and that's how you can kind of have a good themed.
But I think that would have been better for The Force Awakens. Play on that nostalgia, and here's the new characters. But now, to me, this is the new character story. This isn't Han's story. He's gone. This isn't Princess Leia's story. This is Rey's story.
Yeah, there's something like the legacy of it, though. And
sure. The end of it.
Like evil Rey's probably like a dream sequence. You know what I mean?
It's not legit.
Yeah. Everyone's kind of like whatever about it. I think
wasn't that already spoiled that it was a vision or something?
No, nothing's been spoiled as far as
it was a dark. It was a
here.
What? That's already been.
Don't be spoiling it.
Are you talking about the Rey part?
Yeah, no, that was spoiled by who was it? Somebody posted somebody posted something, but it was a spoiler about everyone's going nuts about Rey and her little fold out lightsaber thing.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those what are they? The
butterfly knives?
Yeah, that's exactly. Either that or a nutcracker. One of the others.
Yes. I was about to say a nutcracker. That's what it reminds me of.
There was a character in Clone Wars, that animated show, who had hinged lightsabers like that. So I mean,
bring back the axe, dude. The axe trooper. That spinning axe thing.
Yeah.
Traitor. I want it to be called a nutcracker saber now.
No, don't call it that. Please.
It's a nutcracker saber.
I'm down. I'm with Adam. I'll do it.
And I don't think, dude, they're not going to renege on that teaser, okay? If she's going dark side, it's not going to be a vision.
Oh, I disagree 100%.
Yeah, it's a vision.
I can't renege on that, dude.
And there's like rumors that like they might make it like have some time travel happening and
or a clone.
Which
I heard clones maybe too.
Which movie / episode was it that Luke went into the cave and fought the Darth Vader?
That's exactly what I thought, bro. From Return of the Jedi. Was it Return of the Jedi? When does he go to Dagobah?
What was that, episode 3 or not 3?
6 or 5.
6?
It was 5.
I can't remember if it was Empire or Return of the Jedi.
Man, it was Empire Strikes Back.
When he goes to Dagobah.
Yeah, it was Yoda.
That's exactly what I thought too when I saw it the first time. I was like, this is her inner challenge that Luke faced.
Yeah, but they kind of already did that in the last one. Like
they did, dude. Exactly.
Like the whole entire cave thing too. So it's like,
Empire. Yeah.
Well, The Force Awakens is A New Hope just remade, but I still loved it.
Well, if you remember the last movie when Rey goes into that, like, the bunghole of the dark side over there in
We've all
Luke's
been there.
backyard, in Luke's backyard, she falls in there and then she goes into this world where it's like a mirror, and it's a bunch of hers. Other people are saying that might be alluding that there is a clone thing happening where there might be Rey clones running around and hanging out.
Do you really believe this is the end?
Of this saga, yes.
Do you really?
9 movies in, yes. They might continue it on something on the Disney Plus show, the kind of the way they're doing with Kenobi, which is something we didn't talk about that was announced. But whatever.
Yeah, and I'm stoked for that.
Oh,
too.
Dude, it's going to be
one of the best characters. Period. One of the best characters ever.
Didn't say the next trilogy is going to be by like the Game of Thrones guys.
And they need to go not to the Old Republic. Have they confirmed that?
No, there's nothing being confirmed about.
That's where they need to go with it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, man.
I mean, I think you can make anything in this universe cool. The coolest part about Knights of the Old Republic is that video game, okay? And if they just remake the video game, I don't really care. But yeah, I'd like to see a Knights of the Old Republic show. I'd like to see anything. Yeah, that world, sure. Sure.
I'm done talking about Star Wars.
It's cool though. A lot of Star Wars.
I think Chad Johnson said it best when he said "F-U-C-K."
Yep. Let's move on. This is a strange turn of events. We talked about Marvel Comics 1000. I said I didn't want to make Adam spend the money for it, so we wouldn't make it Book of the Week. Next thing I know, Adam's buying it. Jason's not. I took a stand. I stood with Adam. I was like, I'm not buying this. I'm putting it back because Adam doesn't want it. I don't want it either, Marvel. So take that. Took it. I also spent $90 this week. So yeah, that played a factor.
That'll do it.
But Marvel Comics 1000. Did me and Jason miss out? We're standing strong over here on the left.
No,
I'll talk about it.
Yeah. I'll talk about it too.
From Jason Aaron to Jim Zub.
I hate the echo, man, from StreamYard.
From Jason Aaron to Jim Zub. 80 years. 80
pages.
I
see what you did there. Alphabetical order. I like it.
80 creative teams.
What's up, Count Von Strange? Thanks for joining us in the live chat.
And there was actually a story that sort of wound its way through the issue. Yeah, I dug this a whole lot. I got my top 3. Want me to go with my top 3?
Yeah.
Honorable mention, J. Scott Campbell's 2010. He had like MJ Memoirs. That was a good one. 2016, Derek Landy, Paco Medina's Gridlocked from Deadpool. It was like a 9-page panel where Deadpool broke the fourth wall and talked about 9-page panels. I loved it because I have a thing about 9-page panels. Or 9
You want to share that with the group or keep it to yourself?
It's Watchmen thing.
Okay. Cool.
2008 was Armor Disassembled by Chip Zdarsky. Iron Man had a 16-panel page that was very well done. But my favorite, I think, was the Mark Waid, John Cassidy, Captain America one, 1944. I knew you were
going to go there, you prick.
Well, there was a little
Look
bit
at that face. You're like, oh, yeah, I was just going to be controversial.
There was a little bit of hubbub about it, and everyone was like, oh, it made it all political. And Marvel said, no, it's not going to be political. And it was political, and it wasn't political. It was good. It was very well done, I thought.
The funny part is all 4 of us agreed with what we read that was said. Did we not?
Yes.
I mean, we all agreed.
Yeah.
We didn't agree about everything.
Yeah. Mark. Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah. Mark. Yeah. Definitely Mark Waid.
Mark Waid.
Yeah, I think my favorite was, I'm trying to get to it because I forgot the title of it.
Well, while Adam's flipping through that, for me, is this not just a glorified annual? Why is this worth $10?
Because it was 80 pages.
Yeah, and there's so many writers too. Like, how the hell are you going to pay everyone? You know,
just 1 page each.
If you can rationalize Absolute Carnage, you can rationalize it.
What the hell are you talking about?
Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Oh my God!
What do you mean? What is he talking about? Those are the same price and the same page counts.
Yeah. And when I read Absolute Carnage, I'm like, I will pay this every time. Cannot imagine I would have picked up a book
you hear that, Marvel?
with 75 stories and be like, oh, this is great.
It was something different, something unique, a celebration of the biggest comic book publisher in the world. I think it stands on its own as a thing that is worth picking up. And
Chad Johnson stands with me and wants me to mute Adam for the blasphemy of talking bad about Absolute Carnage, the gold standard for Marvel events.
It is actually really
What's up, Mastodon Comics and Collecting? Thanks for joining us, man. Been enjoying your reviews lately. Even though you were talking about Michael Kingston, and I had to jump in and shut that down real quick.
The gold standard for toilet paper.
But it was as it is. The thing that they were selling us is exactly what we got.
Sure.
A celebration of Marvel Comics, a lot of cool art, a lot of cool one-shot, one-page stories. And yes, Al Ewing was somehow able to take this mishmash of everything and still come out the other end with kind of a story that takes the whole Marvel universe and sort of puts it together in a new, different way. It was kind of unique and cool, and that's what they said it was going to be. So,
I would have probably picked this up. I would have probably picked this up if not for a $90 pull week. I would have.
Oh, sure.
I would have probably
picked it up. It's a huge week, dude. It's a huge week.
Jason, why didn't you pick it up?
So
Jason frozen.
I mean, it was a lot, and then I can't. Well, I was like, wait a minute. Well, I thought it was like interesting how each page is like kind of a description of like a character and like history lesson too along the way. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
and I like those little like fact things, kind of like the Marvel history comics that are coming out now. I think that's pretty cool. But I mean, it's just so thick, and I didn't care about reading it. Like, I mean, I like the history, and I want to read it, and I'll get to it eventually. It's just there's so many other things I'd rather read or like want to read before reading that nonsensical history that I'm probably not going to remember. You know what I mean? So it's like,
No, I understand. I understand. I read it just because it was a big deal. Marvel was making a big deal out of it, and it was a big deal. It was cool.
Yeah. Did you say you liked the big bounce? Was that because that story was about a speedball?
No.
I know you're a speedball fan.
I liked Speedball when he became Penance, man. When he went all BDS.
Oh, gotcha. I think my favorite was the Howard the Duck story.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that turned into a fruit pie ad.
Yeah,
that made me laugh. And then the one with Elsa Bloodstone called Monsters. I just thought it was short, simple, and funny. That's what I thought. So
I heard the Wolverine one was a huge letdown.
It was kind.
He was like on stage walking out or something behind a curtain.
Oh yeah, well they were going through his checklist, and stuff. But check out this cover.
Which cover did you get, Adam?
It was hard to decide.
The Mark Brooks, it's nice.
No, that's not the main. That's not the main one, is it?
Yeah, I got.
No. This isn't the main cover. This is
I'm slacking as a producer. Sorry.
1941. It was between this or the cover that had like that was like a what do you call it? A collage or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I moved it. Sorry, Boogie.
No, you're good. I got you locked in.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah, but I was like, I like my big band and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm going with this 1941. And I liked how each cover, I'm going to move it, Boogie, so you can unlock me. Each cover also itself kind of focused on an era in Marvel Comics. So you had like some of the comics that looked like the mystery or monsters covers. Some of them focused on kind of like the 80s era.
That was the She-Hulk one, and that's the one I wanted, and I could not find it anywhere.
Yeah, and then I overheard the shop I went to down at the beach. I overheard them talking about they sold the Mickey. I think it was for this. There was a Disney cover.
That was the D23 exclusive, but they ended up sending one to every shop, is what I heard.
Yeah, and the shop said they sold it on eBay, and they were wishing they wouldn't have.
Let me ask you guys this. This week, I don't think I have as much coming in. Would you recommend? Because they're going to have extras on the shelf.
Well, no.
You wouldn't recommend picking it up?
It's good just because of what it means for like Marvel Comics. But as far as like the story and everything goes, no, it doesn't. It's not going to mean anything for anything. They might do something reeling out of this because they are doing Marvel Comics 1001, which I think is stupid and I'm not getting. But I got this because it was a big deal. It was their 80th birthday, and they're making a big deal out of it.
I said that really loud. You might like it, Boogie, because I know you like history.
But I don't like annuals.
This isn't
like an annual.
It is an annual, dude. It means nothing.
I would say it's more of like a magazine, like I'm sure when it hits 2020, they'll have a decade in review or something, a magazine. So that's what it's kind of is. It goes through something that, like the Howard the Duck story or page, was just because Howard the Duck came out that year. That was it. The Howard the Duck movie, not even the comic. It was Howard the Duck the movie came out that year. So they wrote this little story about Howard the Duck. So like each page is like a thing in of itself.
That's how they mark the pages, is by the year.
Yeah, and some of the things you can do without, and some of the things you can you'll enjoy. But it really is more like just a like a history blurb.
It's like a collector's book almost, dude.
It's like a
coffee table book.
Yeah, it's like a pop. It's like pop-up video.
I'm putting mine away. It is like pop-up video.
Well, let's get into
that is the best analogy. It's like pop-up video.
Let's get into something that matters, something that's important, something that's one of the greatest events of all time, the gold standard for Marvel comic events. But before we do that, guys, we've only got 10 in the live chat. I don't know if it's because the change in start time or if YouTube's not sending out notifications. Do us a favor, make sure you smash that like button and then share this out to Twitter just real quick. Just see if we can grow this live audience because we're a little down on numbers. But again, it could be the late start time for us. But let's talk about Absolute Carnage number 2.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, man. Donnie Cates, Ryan Stegman, JP Mayer inked it, Frank Martin colored it, and of course Clayton Cowles lettered it because Clayton Cowles, I guess, just letters everything now.
He is the workhorse of letterers.
Clayton. I'm just gonna say good, not great. There was a bit more progression to the overall story.
Jason, do you want to take the lead on this? I'll be
the artwork was amazing, but we really didn't get much more to the story. We still know that Carnage is looking for Codex holders, and Spidey and Venom are trying to stop him. This would be great if it hadn't followed this ongoing trend that Marvel seems to have of pushing the event tie-ins in the main series. And this just turned out to be, it felt like it was just an ad.
What do you feel like they were advertising? What do you think they were advertising?
They were advertising the Norman Osborn tie-in event. They were advertising every single one for all of these symbiotes that they have.
They always do that. Like every single
I know they do in the events, but why do they have to do that? Why can't you
I think it impacts. Just read this for what it is.
Yeah.
Like an ad for the other tie-ins,
but I didn't feel like it was. I felt like it was a smooth story.
Like the first one that said, see, like the other lethal protectors or whatever, and then like later on during the Miles Morales fight, it didn't even see a box for like see Miles Morales.
Never mentioned.
I knew there was one, so like so that's kind of weird how they mentioned one but not the other.
But I mean, I get that, but still. It felt to me like they just threw the Miles Morales thing in there because hey, there's also a Miles Morales tie-in and there's all these other tie-ins that you should read. So let me tell you about them. They had an entire splash page where Carnage, all linked up to this weird Carnage tree, sees every other tie-in going on. There's Deadpool for no freaking reason. There's all the other symbiotes for no freaking reason.
Well, that was all the stuff that happened in the past. I think there was maybe one of them that didn't. But
Gomer, can I give you some advice?
Don't talk shit on Carnage.
In the words,
I'm pissed right now.
In the words of a haunted house, get out.
I know, right?
Get out.
I love
Adam, did you even read this?
No.
Dude, can you please not eat on camera? What are you doing? What is that? This is why we got 8 people in the live chat.
You don't eat gum, Boogie. I'm golly.
What do you do with it? Do you drink it? Do you drink it? What do you do with gum? You drink it?
You chew it, you don't eat it. So
it's candy.
I don't know what you're talking about me eating on camera. I'm chewing. See?
Hey, why don't you type some more? Guys, it's not me typing. Not me
like
typing.
A stampede of horses, My Little Ponies.
I love it. He can't deny it anymore because that stupid noise comes through. It's him beating on his keyboard. I shouldn't drink Seagrams in podcasts.
Yeah, don't be mad because I mean this did feel a little bit too much like it was promoting the other tie-ins and not focusing as much on the story. I got more Carnage story, Absolute Carnage story in Venom, which we'll talk about next. Which was excellent.
No, I think Venom argues your point exactly. I felt like in Venom, it's like, what's the point of this?
What do you mean? Carnage sent all the symbiotes after the Maker.
Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of fight, and it's this. Oh man, this is so backwards. Venom, which I'm supposed to cover next, but
Yeah.
we'll just
let's just feed it right in.
Yeah,
Tie it
all
right
together.
in.
I feel like one thing I will say about Venom, I thought Cates did a good job kind of bringing you up to speed on Absolute Carnage. It was like 2 pages, and then he kind of jumped right into it, and he's going to tell the story of Eddie Brock's son, and that was the goal. And I've got all this crap in my notes about filling you in on what's going on in Absolute Carnage, but I don't have to. But what I said is exactly what you said about Absolute Carnage. This is good, not great, especially for Donny Cates standards. I felt like it was rushed out because Donny Cates is spending so much time on Absolute Carnage.
See, I felt the total opposite. In Venom, I felt like the story was quick and it wasn't bogged down by anything. It was all info and action, and we learned something about Brock, and we got Brock's son, and we got cool character moments from the Maker and these little kids. And it's this weird dude. They have the most maniacal evil super scientist on the planet, literally babysitting a couple of spider kids. It's hilariously evil and just silly.
But it just felt like a whole lot of fighty fight. It felt like a whole lot of fighty fight, and that's it.
Based on everything you've both said, I'm not reading any of this, and I can tell you that me and my wallet, we feel great.
I will say this on the flip side of that: as much as we're bickering back and forth, I enjoyed both books.
Oh, I did too.
I just thought Absolute Carnage was way better than you're giving it credit for.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the art in Carnage alone was amazing.
Oh yeah, I will not take away anything from the art. That kept me going.
To finish reading the issue, just because the first part was see what happened with the Maker and Venom. So I was I stopped reading. Went to Venom, read Venom, and it's funny because both Venom and Miles Morales said to read Carnage before that issue. But I thought it was the opposite. You should really have read those tie-ins or whatever first before reading Absolute Carnage.
I think they. Oh wait, never mind. I'm thinking Miles Morales.
Yeah. So yeah, it took me forever. So got to the Venom part, read Venom, and that was cool. Seeing all those jail guys come in that are Carnage eyes, attack the little warehouse, and then the Foundation symbiotes, whatever, were there. Then it showed what's that dude, that new the one from First Host.
Hold on, the Sleeper.
Sleeper. Yeah, that was cool seeing Sleeper again. I was like, what? I didn't expect to see him either I expect to see him maybe. I didn't think they were actually going to put him into it. I thought maybe we'll see Toxin and other those classic symbiotes we've seen over the years. But didn't expect to see Sleeper. So that was cool. And then went back to reading Absolute Carnage, and then got to the Miles Morales part. And that one, I was like, all right, well, let me read Miles Morales. And
you didn't need Miles Morales.
No, not at all. It was the exact same comic, exact same ending. And all you see is Scorpion is robbing a truck or whatever. Miles goes and stops it, and then all of a sudden gets attacked by all those prison guards symbiotes that are Carnageized. Yeah. And then so I was reading them at the same time, page by page, next to each other. And it was really cool seeing the side-by-side comparisons and how they're different because, some scenes were slightly different dialogue at times. Carnage was cooler, I thought, because you see Scorpion get stabbed. And then in the Miles one, he's turned into the Carnageized Miles, but it's super goofy. He has these really goofy buck teeth that are sticking out. Yeah. And then he looks way cooler in the Carnage one. He has bright eyes and looks like an actual Carnage. So I don't know. I mean, Miles, I don't think it was really worth paying extra for that, really. But I do appreciate that in Absolute Carnage, how they did the throwback to all the other past tie-ins to catch you up for someone who didn't have to buy. You didn't have to buy those. You kind of got the gist of it because they threw it all in Carnage. They could have just left it out, But,
so here's your $10 Absolute Carnage #1, and then #2. We're just gonna catch you up.
But yeah, my comment to Gaumer would be: don't worry about the tie-ins. Just read the main story and be done with it.
I am just reading the main story. I don't want to worry about the tie-ins, but it appears that the main story, Absolute Carnage, is going to push those tie-ins on me.
I did not feel that way at all.
Just
I felt more on
War
the flip side.
This wasn't more to the extent of War of the Realms.
Don't you shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
It was close, man.
No way, bro.
It was close.
When I read the Miles Morales tie-in, I kind of felt like Jason. It's kind of what's the point of this? I felt like they went to Saladin Ahmed, and the reason I pulled all 3 issues of the Miles Morales tie-in because I've enjoyed his Miles Morales run, so I wanted to see what he did, and I feel like they went to him and said, "Hey, Miles is going to get drawn in by Carnage. It's going to be nuts at the end of Absolute Carnage #2, but you got to tell us a story leading into that." And he was like, "Okay, I'll tell this random story that means nothing."
Yeah.
And then the inmates, like Jason was talking about from Ravencroft, are going to be running through the streets for no reason other than it's the aftermath. Yeah. And so it's kind of this build-up story that leads into the splash page that ended Absolute Carnage. It was pointless. You don't need it. But, when I go back to Absolute Carnage, there was some stuff there that I really enjoyed, man. I love that Peter and Eddie were kind of like, dude, we can't win this fight. We gotta get out of here. We gotta retreat.
I like how fast Venom was able to blast through the wall with that big ass like ball thing that he did. I was like, why didn't you do it in the first place? Poor Peter was like breaking his arm, trying to break through the wall.
What I loved is they take off, and one of the little minions is like, we got to go after him. Let's go kill him. And Carnage is like, nope. The young wolf runs and kills one. The old wolf walks and kills them all. And I was like, I love this book. And now Gaumer's hating on it. So
I'm not hating on it. Those parts were good when it pushed the story along, but that was directly out of what happened in Absolute Carnage #1. That was a good part when it was pushing the story. But going back and then talking about all the tie-ins and everything else that's going on, no, I don't care about that. I'm not reading that. You can't make me.
Dude, Lethal Protectors was pretty dope, though. It showed like what happened with John Jameson and Misty Knight at the end of that Cult of Carnage issue or whatever a while back. Like their car ride kind of shows her like turn into Man Wolf, Carnage Eyes, and kind of jump her. So she's kidnapped in this issue, and so they're like in this like Ravencroft Institute. It's like John Jameson and like Doppelganger and Carnage, pretty much like the whole crew. And they got, I think Shriek is there also, which doesn't really make sense because she kind of like got ripped in half in like the last like that same issue I was talking about, Cult of Carnage or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
So this one she kind of looks a little pale, so maybe she's like a zombie eyes version, I guess.
Weird.
Yeah. So, but thing is like they decide to like bring Misty Knight out of jail and to like use her arm or something to help with like the sigil they were doing to make like a sacrifice. And they did a ritual sacrifice. Yeah, they did a ritual sacrifice though with Shriek, and so they killed her again, and I guess resurrected her as Demogoblin. So now it's like the female version of Demogoblin. It's like, so I guess if you're crazy about first appearances, whatever, pick up that issue. But I mean, a lot of nonsense, but it's still fun. I'm having a good time with it, and I like it that it's darker, and I like cold stuff, so I'm in.
That's cool. I don't need all that. I just want the Absolute Carnage.
That's all you need.
And I'm reading Venom. I'm already reading Venom, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Are you reading Venom? Have you been reading it monthly since the beginning?
Yeah.
See, I added it just for Absolute Carnage, and then I added the Miles Morales book, and that was it. But
anything Donny Cates writes, I'll read.
And that's where I'm at now too, man. I cut so much stuff out of my pull list.
He's like Jeff Lemire for me now.
Dude, him and Bagley are coming out with an issue called like Venom Island or something like that.
Dude, that's after Absolute Carnage. I think that might be the name of the arc.
Oh,
yeah, it is.
If you remember, there was Spider Island, where everybody on Manhattan Island turned into Spider-Man for a while. So I'm hoping that we get an island full of Venoms.
Cool. All right.
Oh, it'd be so good.
Dude, Bagley and Cates together, that's cool.
What?
Yeah.
Wasn't that done in a video game when a bunch of people got or taken over by Venom symbiotes?
I don't know.
I thought that happened before because Wolverine became had a symbiote, and wow, maybe someone in the chat knows. I don't know. I thought it was a video game or it already happened in a previous storyline.
I will say this: when I read the Miles Morales tie-in, I told myself, moving forward for these big Marvel events, just read the main event and be done.
That's all I need.
And again, I threw a bone to Saladin Ahmed because I've really enjoyed his Miles Morales run. That's pretty much why I did it. And then the Venom, why not read Venom? It's Donny Cates still writing it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
Tom Taylor wrote Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It had awesome Miles Morales moments this week. But
I'm reading that in trade. Sorry, man. And I still haven't read the first one. It's just sitting upstairs.
So good. Take your day off tomorrow and read it.
I am off tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to go learn how to win Mortal Kombat. So let's talk about Batman Superman #1. That's Jason.
Yep. Written by Joshua Williamson. I was trying to pull it up.
You're good.
Dude. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, so at the end of like the last Batman Who Laughs like storyline, you see that Commissioner Gordon was kind of had that dark matter poisoning, the nth metal kind of evil version poisoning that the Batman Who Laughs injected into him. So he's it's kind of like a sleeper agent of the Batman Who Laughs. So unbeknownst to Batman and Superman, he directs them towards the Batman Who Laughs Batcave. So he goes there, and they're looking for clues of what's going on, and then they find out that there's like a whole plan or a scheme that there's other like just a whole bunch of like sleeper agents that could turn into these evil versions of themselves.
The infected,
exactly. I think there's like supposed to be like 6 of them or something like that, or
they
5.
said the Sinister Six or Secret Six.
Secret Six, that's what it is. Thank you. Yeah, so they're like, wow, it could be anyone. It could be any of our friends. Teen Titans, Justice League. Who is it? We've seen it on all the lists. It's spoiled for everyone. If you like,
dude, that pissed me off.
Me too, man. Me too. I'm so bummed out because I love just by like flipping through stuff. Like, oh, great! Like here, I can see like this art and how the character designs look already and stuff. It's like, all right, well, that's ruined now, but it's still cool. At the end of this one, you see there's like a little crow, like if you read Batman Who Laughs, it's like the evil version of like a Robin that he has, and they just thought it was another like Tim Drake or whatever, and they're like, no, it's like my name's Billy. It's like Billy Batson. And you're like, oh snap, and it's the Shazam Who Laughs. So it's pretty cool.
And that was spoiled, man. And
yeah,
everything about this was dope except for that. I was so mad. I thought there was going to be another hook, that wasn't
and it just
spoiled.
Ends. Yeah. I mean, I think it's cool that he still says Shazam to transform.
I thought that was the coolest moment of the book.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that he doesn't have to say it. Shazam Who Laughs, like much longer. But yeah, it was cool, man. I'm still down. I love all the Batman Who Laughs stuff and the Dark Knight's Metal stuff. Like that's what got me back into reading comics was Doomsday Clock and Dark Knight's Metal. Nice. And after that, I just went down the rabbit hole, learning past history of and like what characters been up to, and it's, made me a reader for life. So I totally support anything Snyder and Williamson are doing, and Tynion for that matter too.
Yeah,
that's just like a good triple combo.
They're murdering all these events and the way they're tying into everything. I mean, Dark Knight's Metal still matters to what's going on in Justice League even this week. It's so great. But yeah, this was a great issue. But yeah, man, I've got to be pissed about that spoiler.
Oh, dude, it's so frustrating, man. Like. God, and like, so I mean, I was going to say some characters, but I'm not going to spoil it for people who don't know, so never mind.
Yeah, we've already been spoiled about other ones that are going to.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think what's interesting is you guys talking about what Snyder and Williamson are doing, and this didn't really hit me till just now, but if this was Marvel, this would have been a book that came out at the same time as Batman Who Laughs, versus now it's kind of just continuing this story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. They would have taken advantage of the buzz while it was still buzzing, and not the week after.
This is what Batman was doing with Superman while he was doing all this other stuff too.
Yeah,
I like this. Like, sure. Some of it got annoying. I don't like the way that Williamson writes Superman. I know Superman's supposed to be the good little Boy Scout compared to Batman, but he was just pouring it on so thick. Like when Superman's lecturing Jim Gordon about smoking, I'm like, this is.
I kind of like that part.
I don't need that. I feel like he was pouring it.
I see what you mean, though. Yes, that does. Yeah,
I do like that. He was like, "Oh, well, like this is usually the part where like he's gone," and you're like,
"That was funny. That was funny. That was
cool. I like that too."
I just don't know if I can read this because I'm reading Batman and Trade. I'm hanging on.
It's so bad. Give it up.
There's only 3 issues.
Superman? I love Superman.
Oh, Batman. There's only 3 or 4 issues of Batman left.
Oh, yeah. But I'm so far behind on Batman and Trade, but it's one of those OCD things where I feel like I have to complete it now.
I have to read everything Batman because I love Batman just as a fan. So I have to know what he's doing continuity-wise all the time, no matter like what. So I read.
When you're reading Batman, you're reading Detective Comics. You're reading Batman and the Outsiders. And then what Batman's doing in Justice League? Do I really need Batman and Superman on top of all that?
It's one of the better ones. It's way better than Tom King's run. But like Tom King's like art, though, you can't beat like all the artists he has on that book. It's so good.
Again, it's OCD. When it's sitting on my shelf beside Scott Snyder's run, it's like I got to finish it.
Yeah. And you're close enough. It's almost over, anyways. So, I mean,
Adam, did you read that?
Superman? Sorry.
No, what now?
You said you're reading Superman in Action Comics as well, Bendis's stuff.
Did you? I've not read Action this week, but I did read Superman number 14. Did you not like it?
I'm not a fan of Bendis's Superman in general, but this issue in particular with the Unity saga going on, like Zod would never team up with Superman and be like, "Yeah, we're homies now. Let's unite." You know,
but he did because we read it.
Bendis wrote it's so dumb. It's just against his character, how he should be, how he's always been written. It's just silly. And then the ending too. It's like, oh yeah, it's you know, John Kent's idea to make like a United Nations, but a planet. Wow, genius idea. You're up here, and then the superheroes come from the future. It's like, John, we came here to say thank you, and please come with us to the future to get us out of Bendis's book because we don't want to have Superboy anymore. So,
I agree with that. I agree with that. But I did dig. I dug all the Rogal's R stuff. I dug this issue. I get what you're saying. I didn't like the ending. It's Gaumer talking about advertisements. That's what that was. It's an advertisement to sell the next book.
Yeah, he's like, hey, here's my other book. And then in Action Comics, he's like, oh, here's Naomi. You know, like she's going to be on the cover of the next issue. She was at the last page. Yeah, so it's like, all right, well.
He wants a Naomi movie. He wants a Naomi movie is what
he does. Of course he does.
Of course he does. He wants more money.
My contract says I get 2 points off the top of a Naomi movie.
Yeah, dude. I hate that he pushes his character so much. It's so offensive and blatant. It's just so dumb. I don't know. But hey, get paid, bro. That's your job. So to keep doing.
You're gonna read Superman number 15?
I want to read them all because I love.
Bet your ass you will.
Yeah, because my favorite character. I love the continuity. So like, I got to like Batman, Superman, the biggest DC heroes. Like, of course I'm gonna read it. Like Wonder Woman, not yet. I dropped off during the last Rider, and then same thing with Aquaman. I dropped off during the last Rider. But
I want to go back and read Kelly Sue's run, Kelly Sue DeConnick's run. I really do.
I'll read it. I didn't like the first one. And so I was
but when Aquaman number 50 came out, I was like, I kind of want to read what she did with that.
I thought Aquaman was pretty dope until she took over.
I thought so too, man. It was way political early on, and then it got into him, you know, getting in with the dirty people. I love
the trench and stuff.
Yeah, the trench, dope. But my favorite character Bendis ever created is called Layla Miller. She's just some stupid mutant that he created in House of M. But he didn't make her cool. Peter David made her cool. But it's hard to judge, man. I think that's the problem with Bendis. He holds on to a character until he's fleshed them out so much that another writer can't help but go in the direction that Bendis has already taken them.
Is that
he does a disservice. That's not how comic book characters work. Deadpool wasn't cool until he got into like the second or third, writer on Deadpool. So I don't know.
Like pulling a dude that can't draw feet move.
Right.
I forgot his name.
Rob Liefeld.
Yeah. We don't say that name around here.
Yeah, we don't say that.
They won't demonetize us for that. Just don't drop
you never know.
We ready to move on?
Oh, Adam, we got to see what Adam thought of the book.
I bet he didn't read it. Is he awake?
He's sleeping. He's taking a nap.
He's waiting for us to finish talking.
Cool, man.
Did I not read it?
That's awesome.
Did I not read it?
I don't know. You probably didn't. You probably
you bought it. You bought it.
Yeah, good point, Gaumer.
He bought it.
I wish I would have been zoomed in on that.
Oh, hello, ComicCast, right?
Oh, wow. Calm down.
Just gets his gum and puts it in there.
How'd you like it? Did you enjoy Batman Superman?
No, I didn't. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, I hated it or no. I just didn't care.
Yeah,
I read it and just.
And you weren't a fan of the Batman Who Laughs.
I was going to say, how much Batman Who Laughs did you read?
How much of that did I follow?
The 7 issues. Remember, they added an issue because of this series, I guess.
Yeah, it's supposed.
Yeah, I mean, I think I want to say I didn't read it all, but I think I heard enough that I stayed aware of it, and then I didn't even know what I was getting into. I just picked it up, and when I saw him show up, I was like, "Oh, it's Batman Who Laughs."
Oh yeah, just continuation is all it was.
Yeah, and it's
how dope was that beginning though? That beginning was super dope with like Superman and then with the kryptonite air, and then like the whole planet dying and exploding. I thought that was cool because I didn't know, until
the Shazam part was neat. I mean, because just going from Billy Batson dressed up as like a small Robin, and then throw that swerve in that it turns out it's Billy Batson into Shazam. Mm-hmm. I mean, what other character could you do that swerve with?
I saw that a mile away.
Yeah.
Oh, because you're so smart.
Because it's spoiled for
but that's it. I'm done.
Was the Shazam stuff spoiled?
Yeah, it was
All I
Yes.
saw was the Billy Batson stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't
no,
know.
I
Sam
didn't know
stuff
anything about it.
was way spoiled.
Yeah,
don't
all the characters are spoiled now. Like they have
Yeah.
just from seeing art like of that people draw on Instagram and stuff. You know, because I follow a lot of artists and writers. See them on Twitter. It's like, oh, okay, well now I know like that character is like the infected or whatever. We've
Yeah.
seen them all now. Like I got probably named 3 or 4 off the top of my head, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, because it
Yeah,
sucks.
that's
and I don't-
stupid.
If you
That's
want to avoid it, I
stupid.
guess you can. If you
Why
wanna
would
live
an
under a
artist do
rock
that?
Like Boogie and Adam.
Yeah, well, I don't like the internet, so shut up, Gaumer. Let's move on. This is going to be interesting.
I
Mountainhead,
think
number
so,
1.
too.
Mountainhead number 1, written by John Lees, art by Doug Garbark and Ryan Lee, letters by Sean Lee.
It's all
There's
about that Lee.
real Lee, a lot of Lees. Anyway,
Same matter as Brokeback Mountain, Mountainhead.
Come on, man. Come on.
There's our.
I don't think we
monetization.
can get. I don't think we can get demonetized for that. But you never know. I'll probably have to challenge it. Remember that pre-show conversation? Jason may be the next
Not
one fired.
myself, I'm sorry.
Just see yourself out, Jason.
Chad, you're on deck.
Yeah, Chad, you ready to go? You got a webcam?
all right, this is gonna be quick. We got this kid named Abraham and his paranoid father. They break into houses and live out of hotels. Abraham's father, maybe.
Is he though?
Is he though? He keeps Abraham in this lifestyle. Although it's obvious Abraham kind of longs for, lack of better words, normalcy. The father and I guess the son as well are also they're it's implied they're seeing like these demon eyes or face or demon eyes, but you're unsure if it's figments of their crazy imagination,
Their Mountainhead.
or the real, the figments of their Mountainhead.
Mountainhead is like a disease you get from staying too long in the
It's
woods.
probably a real thing.
It's probably like cabin fever, maybe.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing. Sure. And we all know that's a real thing if you see.
But if you
my-
can't afford a cabin, then you have Mountainhead.
Exactly. If you just live
Okay.
out in the, it's like camping fever, but that was
Wedding.
sounding too close.
Dudes that are married wish they got Mountainhead.
Oh man,
Demonetized.
If you go to Gatlinburg, you do.
that's right. Every
Do
time I
you,
go to
Adam? Are you
Gatlinburg,
saying you do?
I
Is
get
that
a
a fact?
Mountainhead.
No, I don't get it. I only get as far as Pigeon Forge.
Man,
But
these are all
it.
inside baseball jokes. No one outside Tennessee or the tri-state area.
I'm pretty sure Chad Johnson has family that lives near there.
Oh, awesome.
But that, I mean, but that's it. That's and if you have to go pay for it, you Dollywood. But
Wow.
wow.
Dollywood.
But
Looks
that's
like
it.
3
I mean,
puns in one.
we pretty much get introduced to the kid and his
What do you mean
dad.
that's it?
Their
Oh, dude.
situation. Do they see figments of their
No,
imagination?
it turns out
And
he
I will say,
kidnapped the kid.
I will say that
Did he even say that?
the
What?
art reminds me a little bit of. I felt like I was reading like old Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, it was a little drippy.
Like some of it.
Yeah, like
there-
very loose.
Yeah. It was that's what I got that feeling. But yeah, the story is. I swear, I feel like we read a story like an issue number 1 not too long ago that was along the same lines as this, where we were introduced to a character who is seeing things, and you couldn't tell if they were actually seeing these things or
We're
if
talking
it,
about Middle West from Scotty Young.
no, not Middle West. It was something else. Because it was one of those deals where we just got the first issue and forgot it because we really didn't care to continue the story. But anyway, I don't know, man. I just didn't care.
All right, we're cutting Adam off. This was my favorite thing I read this week.
Awesome.
I absolutely
Out of
love this.
$90 worth of books.
It was, $90 worth of comic books. This was the best thing I read. And this was nowhere on my radar until Adam brought it to the Book of the Week poll.
Sorry.
I didn't read the previews. I had no idea what to expect. But when I got into this thing, this story was perfect.
Yeah.
And
I thought so too.
My question is, where do they go from here? You know, it's like Gaumer mentioned. I don't know if Adam said it in his little review there or not. This kid was kidnapped, but
allegedly.
Yeah. My question is Noah really Abraham's dad? He talked about the corrupt world and how they would be lying. If we ever get caught, they're going to lie to you. They're going to feed you full of bullcrap. Listen, this is what's true. Is the real world lying to him? Are we dealing with Stockholm syndrome? And what's next for Abraham? Are we going to see Noah again? Listen, he put a gun to his head and pulled the trigger, but they said that he survived. So what happens next? Is he going to be an issue too? I have so many questions coming out of this first issue.
We should have this guy on. We should try to get this guy on an episode.
You think Noah would come on?
Well, no, John Lee.
Oh, sorry. I bet he would.
The writer.
I bet he would.
It's just, I mean, I'm not saying it's just an IDW book, but it is just an IDW book. It's not like we're getting a major guy on, but I would love to talk to him about this because I totally agree with you. This was amazing. I was not expecting anything. I went into it, opened it up, and then it 180. You know, when they get busted, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. What is this, like a cerebral sort of thing? Is he in a weird? What is going on? And yeah, a book that can make you say, I can't wait to read the next issue so I can learn more about what is going on. That's a winner. It wins. Chad mentioned the art. Yeah, man, it was subtle, but the art was just, I loved it. If you see the title page, I actually have in my notes the title page where all the names of the creators are like coming out of the mountain. Yeah, it's cool. That sort of design that follows the entire issue. It's subtle, but it's, you know, integrated into the art. I loved it. So good.
That was the best thing I read.
Jason didn't read this, did you? Dude,
I'm looking over it right now. Yeah,
you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, the art looks pretty cool. It looks really wordy, but I mean that's not a big deal.
It is wordy. It is a little wordy.
I think I like the coloring more than the art. Really,
who does this guy think he is? Ed Brubaker?
Yeah,
I wish. Jeez, I love Brubaker.
I love this book. I love this comic book. Not only best issue this week for me, but it's in the mix. One of my favorite issues I've read all year. I just love this. And maybe it's because I went into it blind. It's like
I think that's part of it for me, yeah.
Didn't know what I was getting into. What the Mountainhead? What is this?
Yeah, there's a lot of sadness in it too. It's probably why you liked it.
Yeah. It was, dude. It reminded me of something my wife would watch on TV, some stupid documentary. And even as soon as I got done, I was like, oh my gosh, let me tell you what I just read. And she's like, that sounds really good. She would never read a comic book, but she was like, that story sounds amazing.
My wife always says the same things just to make me shut up. But I said the same thing to my old lady, and I was like, oh man, this was great. But I do that all the time, you know. Oh my gosh, look at this panel. Look how this panel relates to this one. It's so amazing.
But do you though? Like Batman, Superman #1. I'm not going to be like, hey, listen to what Batman said.
I did say, oh, look, Joker or Batman who last put kryptonite in the air system of the satellite. She's
I wouldn't say that.
Because she knows what the satellite is. You know, I've made her sit through whatever that old 90s Justice League show. So she knows what that is. But that's a good idea if you want to get over on Superman.
Mm-hmm. I'm currently looking to see if there's a Mountainhead documentary or something. On the condition.
X-Minute.
Let's do it. We do need to get that guy on if we can. No, I'd love to talk to him about it.
Yeah, let me shoot him a message, man, because it may be a possibility. I would love to talk to that guy.
Jonathan Hickman, Pepe Larraz, Marte Gracia, colors to the year, maybe?
Yeah.
If we do that, have we ever done that?
We could add it.
Color, it's hard. It's going to be hard to go through colors.
No, it's going to be the War of the Realms and a couple other people.
Right. Clayton Cowles, yet again. Tom Muller on the design. Still want to talk about Tommy Boy there. Once more, Unto the Breach. All right, there's a few different things going on here. Firstly, we have a lot of cool charts and graphs explaining how machine AI works and how it evolves. I'm only reading this series for the charts and the graphs. We also get the full Krakoan alphabet.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, official.
Nice.
The official.
Yeah, there's a font out there too. If you Google the Krakoan font,
it's dope.
You can put it on a Word document or whatever. Second, we have Emma and the Stepford Cuckoos going to get Sabretooth out of prison, throwing around all that mutant weight and attitude that they've got now. That was very well done. You know, we're not seeing a lot of that, like on the ground sort of stuff, how this new status quo for the mutants is actually impacting humans. We're seeing how it relates to machines and Orcus and all that, but not really how it's in fact impacting governments the way we did in issue number 1 of House of X. But lastly, we have Cyclops and his Suicide Squad sort of team going to take down the Mother Mold. That's awesome. This felt more like a traditional comic book issue, I think, more than the other issues in this series and the Powers of 10 series. I loved it. It was great. Lots of cool character moments, great subtlety to a lot of the things being said, like Cyclops talking with Professor Xavier about the definition of life and what it means to be immortal. You know, that was cool. Almost like Xavier's like the leader of a cult, you know. Emma letting us know how badass mutants are right now with this bigger picture. And even that human on the Mother Mold himself, who was all suicide, you know, bomber to stop the mutants, how radicalized they've become to save their species in this whole conflict that has really, Hickman hasn't really had a lot of time to tell that story because he's had so much buildup to let us know exactly what's going on with this complex tale he's weaving. So to get some of that feels really good. And I think this is a good time for it. We've had enough of Hickman saying, hi, I love the X-Men and this is my TED Talk, which is basically what the first, 5 issues of this dual series have been. Just a lot of him explaining everything that he's changed. So yeah, that's it. Good one.
I'm out. I'm done. I'm finished.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
I just am.
Because I said it on Facebook. He's not smart enough.
I'm not. I can't pay five. I can't pay $5 a week for something that I read and I just go, oh, okay. I dropped Amazing Spider-Man today.
Yeah.
Or this week. I dropped a lot of stuff this week because why am I paying money for comic books that make me go, that was all right. I dropped Flash this week.
There's way too many good books for you to feel that way. Yep. So I completely respect that you doing that because I don't do that enough. I mean, look at Fantastic Four. We always rag you about that.
I'm still on it. I'm still on it. But I've been reading Flash for 70 some issues.
Yeah.
And I love Joshua Williamson. I really do. I think he's a great writer. But enough is enough, man.
It hasn't been good since Godspeed, man.
When I read a book like Mountainhead and I finish and I can't wait to talk to people about it. I'm telling my wife about it who does not care anything about comic books. I'm like, listen to what happened in this book. That's the way you should feel when you come out of a comic book. I shouldn't be pulling and paying for books that don't create excitement.
Yeah. In that context, I think for me, more than anything, Powers of 10 and House of X has become a thing that I'm following because I want to see how it goes, how it ends, and how it goes into the new stuff with X-Men. So
yeah, for me, I feel like it's still one of the best books on the shelf right now.
Yeah.
I mean, probably just because I'm a huge Hickman fan. I think what he's doing is really different and special. That's not being done in comics. So it's not to be missed. And the current Marvel Universe Fall 2019 magazine, it just came out. I think it was for free at like pretty much every LCS if they had it. But in there was like an article, an interview about what he's going to be doing with X-Men. And they said the cover to X-Men #1 features an intriguing look at the Summers family tree plus Wolverine. Does that family dynamic play a big role in your overall story? And he said, well, the X-Men book is not about the Summers clan. It's just one issue. Each issue of X-Men is planned to be a one and done. And each issue will have a new cast with some overlap from issue to issue.
Oh, wow.
So that's interesting. So I guess that'd be a book you can probably just jump into and whenever you want to, apparently if it's going to be a one and done kind of thing. Sure. And kind of just overexpands over the whole entire X-Men universe issue by issue. And there'll be some overlap there. But interesting guy, interesting writer, man. I think it's a not to be missed series. Like even if you don't like X-Men, I think just really weird, cool stuff.
There's no doubt I'll read X-Men #1 once they reboot it.
Yeah,
or whatever you want to call it. Not reboot it, but once he finishes this story he's telling,
Dawn of X.
Yeah, they move into it. I'll pick it up and see what happens. We're going to get into some random reviews here, but before we do, I got to show you guys this. And the reason I'm going to show it to you is because this is available for only a limited time. And listen, nobody's buying these. We got to sell 5 of these T-shirts or else they do not go to print. Dude, you got 8 days and 5 hours to order the official ComicCast T-shirt. They are only available for a limited time. Bonfire.com/ComicCast. They're available in gray, the original black. I love this This is the shirt I'm buying. The
blue
royal
one.
blue with
It
the
pops.
red letters looks amazing.
It
There's a
pops.
midnight navy, and there's also the plain white T-shirt.
You'll get pit stains. Go for the go for the blue.
Go
I'm
for
getting
the
black
Superman. What'd you get, Jason? Didn't you get the black one?
Yeah, or the black one, dude.
That's the OG. That's the original one. Gomer has one. He's never worn it. Me and Adam.
It's framed in my room.
I don't believe you. I don't think you liked it, and I paid money out of pocket for that, and I would appreciate it if you wore it
next week.
But guys, for sure, listen, bonfire.com/ComicCast. If you want a ComicCast shirt, now is the time, because for 8 days, 4 hours, 55 minutes, and 6 seconds, they are available. After that, gone forever.
So we just need 3 people to order, right? Because
I'm gonna order one. I've not ordered mine yet. Okay. So you ordered one, somebody else ordered one. I'm gonna order at least one, if not two. So these are gonna print. But listen, we need another few people to pick up the official ComicCast T-shirt. They look great. Little inside baseball here. I hate talking about it on air, but my wife and I are currently in the process of going through an adoption. We use this exact website for an adoption fundraiser. And I just right now on Facebook saw somebody commenting saying the shirts are like so soft, good quality.
Nice. Oh yeah.
So that's awesome. So check it out. Bonfire.com/ComicCast. All the links are in the description.
I don't wear my ComicCast shirt because it's like wearing a band shirt to a concert of the band that's playing the concert. It just feels weird, you know.
That is a huge thing for me. I never wear a band shirt to that band concert.
I always buy my shirt as I'm leaving too, because you can say, "I'll give you $8," and they always knock it down.
But this is a little different because I feel like it's almost like Iron Maiden on stage wearing their own Iron Maiden shirts. So it's a little different. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess.
I've worn my ComicCast shirt on air.
Yeah,
for sure. I'll do that.
Yeah, dude.
Let's get into some random reviews presented by collarandelbowbrand.com. Check them out. Save 10% at checkout. Use the promo code ComicCast. A lot of cool original professional wrestling T-shirts. I'll go first, and I'll go quick, and I'll be done. I did read the first 2 Star Wars Age of Resistance one-shots from Tom Taylor. I know Gomer dropped out on them. Poe Dameron was boring for the most part. There was a cool little fun reveal at the end, but nothing special. On the flip side, General Hux, that one shot, I expected nothing from. Great story, really built on the relationship between Hux and Kylo Ren.
Wow, really?
Hux is a real bastard, man.
I hate Hux.
Yeah, me too.
From the movies.
But do you hate him because he's a bad guy, or do you hate him because he's irrelevant?
And because his face, he's like a really punchable
a little bit
face.
of both.
See, when you hate somebody because they're irrelevant, that's not good. And that's always kind of the way I felt about him. But in this, dude, I hated him because he is a legit, I don't want to be demonetized, but he's an a-hole, man. This was a great issue that really brought that to life. 3 more issues to go. Rose Tico, Snoke, and also Rey. I'm hanging around, man.
I want to read the Snoke one.
I'm done with that stuff.
General Hux, I would recommend picking up. Man in Black number 2, Cullen Bunn, Brian Hurt, Tyler Crook from Dark Horse Comics. We got that girl running through the woods, and she is given refuge by Tyler Black, and she's got a strong connection with fire and magic, and we still don't have a lot of answers about that mysterious dude that was on the cover and that was in the middle of the street, other than the Black family calls him the Stranger. There's a lot of cop detective stuff in this, which I really love. There's more fires. But who's connected to all this? Because they're making you think one thing, but I think it's a little sleight of hand magic. Good storytelling, good pacing. It's a pretty typical Cullen Bunn 4-issue miniseries, but I'm digging it, man. I'm glad I'm still.
I think it's going the exact same way how we thought it would. How like we think that girl's going to be next in line, and the family's going to get mad that she's going to take over and going to try to sabotage her. You know what I mean? But there's other stuff on top of that, like who started the fires, why are people just combustionally starting on fire when they touch someone and stuff. You know, so it's interesting. It's good.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I don't regret pulling it. I'm having fun with it. Sweet. And thank you, Jonathan Hedrick, in the live chat. Just ordered a T-shirt, and he will wear it during one of the signings in October. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate that.
Yep, awesome.
And Mastodon's heading out. Phone is dying. But thank you for joining us in the live chat, Mastodon.
See you, Donnie.
Keep doing those good reviews, man. I'm enjoying what you're doing on your channel.
Donnie's one of our Comic Core homies. He's a good dude.
Who's next? Who's up?
You want me to go?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
TMNT Shredder in Hell, Mateus Santaluco, and he's doing writing and art. Still a great series, fun art. I think it's got one more issue. I'm not sure if they're timing that to coincide with TMNT 100. Number 97 came out this week. Tom Waltz, Kevin Eastman, Michael Dionysius. We all talk about Spawn hitting 300, but yeah, TMNT is going to hit issue 100. So this is City at War Part 5. I've not been keeping up with TMNT as much as I should, but I did catch up on this arc, and yeah, it's been great, dude. I may have to go back and find some time to read 100 issues of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Is the Shredder and Hell stuff pretty good?
Yeah, the art is wonderful. The design is really great. The writer and the artist is the same guy. So it's one vision. It's been really fun.
Is it like a mini series or?
Yeah, just a mini series. I think it's 5 issues.
Okay.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 11. Tom Taylor, Wonka Ball. Still my favorite Spider-Man book. This was all a Mary Jane story. Like Peter gets in early in the morning, and Mary Jane just goes and has her day, and she ends up doing just a lot of everyday stuff. But it was actually very, very interesting. I'm not sure what else to say about it except Tom Taylor is a genius. He's just underrated. He needs more work. Curse of the White Knight number 2. Sean Murphy doing everything. Just an action-packed blast. I think this may have been the best thing I read this week. I loved it. I loved everything about this series. I want to see more of this. I know I'm not a big guy for the movies, the on-screen stuff, but this is begging for an animated, adaptation. The first arc and this one. Yeah, this turned into it. Double hitter here. Both Justice League number 30 and Avengers 24 came out today or this week. James Tynion in the 4, Scott Snyder, Jorge Jimenez on JL. Avengers had Jason Aaron and Stefano Caselli. It's so cool that the main team book at both Marvel and DC is so good in such different and unique ways. There's time travel going on now over in Justice League. It's this huge, complex web of story that has Starro being Robin, which sounds so stupid, but
he's the best.
So awesome.
I love Starro. He is the best Robin.
He is so great. And it's just so massive, this story. And then over in Avengers, it's just cool for a completely different reason. It's sort of this small, compact Ghost Rider story while
Damon Hellstrom exercising
yes. The Avengers are living in a celestial that's dead, and it's been possessed by a demon, and it's attacking him. It's wonderful. And then, you get Robbie Reyes and Johnny in hell talking it out, just doing exactly what you'd think a Ghost Rider would do. They talk about other Ghost Riders from the past, which just gets me so excited for the new Ghost Rider books that are coming out.
Same.
Yeah, great books this week, man. I read a lot more, but you guys don't want to hear me go into Transformers number 11.
Nope, we don't.
No, you don't.
Screw that book.
Oh,
it's
my gosh.
Fantastic Four for you.
It is. I can't help it. I still read it.
I can't say a word because
it's going to get better eventually.
I'm going to be talking about Fantastic Four number 73 and how bad it sucks.
Did you read Yancey Street this week?
I did read it, yeah.
It felt like an old school Fantastic Four, but it felt pointless because it was a one shot, right?
Yeah,
it's like, what's the point?
It's a cute little story.
I like the story, but why don't you let Jerry, Dugan, Doug, and Gary write Fantastic Four instead of Dan freaking Slott?
They are
giving it to Chip. They should have given it to Chip, man.
Chip Zdarsky on Fantastic Four would be the greatest day of my life next to the birth of my children. The day I married my wife.
His Marvel Comics 1000 story had no words and was wonderful. It was perfect.
His Marvel 2-in-1 was amazing, dude.
Yes.
It was so good. It should have been a different dimension. It was.
What's sad is I dropped it because Fantastic Four was coming out. And I was like, I don't need this anymore. And then it's like, wow, thanks for slapping me in the face, Dan Slott. Jason, what'd you read? We got a couple minutes here, and then we're going to get into the book of the week.
Okay. Nice Temporal was really good. That's another Cullen Bunn comic. That one's just like this night dude chasing a wizard through time, and he's being told where to go by this like fairy lady. And you find out at that first issue at the end of it that she might be maybe a bad guy, kind of jerking him around. So in this issue, he's kind of going through time everywhere. And then he goes, he's at the library, and he's like, so what are we doing? Where are we going? Like, he's like, oh yeah, you got to go here next. He's like, I don't know. I'm going to do some research. He tries typing in his name, or he tries to do some research. And now he's like, what am I doing? And he's like, why can't I do this? And he goes and talks to some lady. He's like, hey, if I give you some money, will you like research? And she's like, yeah. He's like, you look up my this name. He's like, any form of it, whatever. So she looks it up. It's like, oh, well, wow. It's like this. You see him in like the Night Phase, like different like art things, and like a cowboy version and like a Bonnie and Clyde version. It's always him and like this pixie lady throughout time, pictures and stuff, whatever, drawings, whatever.
Oh, cool.
And so he's like, what's going on? It's like, yeah, I guess this person was known as being like a slaughterer or murderer of like towns and stuff and people, like for no reason. He's like, this can't be what's going on. And then at the end, it's like the wizard, it's like in the future, and it's like this other version of the Night dude, the main character. He's like in jail and like dirty and long hair. He's like, you told me you'd kill me for all the horrible things I've done. Like, can you please kill me now? And the wizard's like, yeah, I can do that. So like, who knows what's going on? So it's got me interested. The art is really good. The panel
it's the kids, really Marty.
Cool. Yeah, dude, the panel layouts are really cool. It has like kind of broken glass, kind of time, like kind of panel layouts. It's really cool and great art, man. I'd recommend it. I kind of enjoy it more than Man of Black, honestly. I think it's one of the better Bun books. And Bone Parish finished up issue 12, dude. That was so good, man. It was a great series. I think it was solid all the way through. It's a great read and trade. So, it's kind of hard to remember stuff happening issue to issue for 12 issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So I highly recommend getting into the trade. I wish that would be like a movie or a show.
I might try to go back to it because you've raved so much about it.
Oh, dude, it's so good, man. Yeah, you got it. It's worth at least reading like at least once, man. And it's one of the better Bun books out there. Let's see what else. Yeah, we all read. Some of us read Yancey Street. Flash was pretty cool.
Still the death of the Speed Force or whatever?
No. I guess like in the last issue was the beginning of the first of a new arc. It's the Black Flash went and like got Steadfast. He's like, I guess the owner of the Still Force or something, and he's like trying to kill him. So this one Flash rescues him, and you find out that the Black Flash wants to go and kill all the other Force holders of the different kinds of forces, because I guess they're killing the Black Flash somehow, or his connection to the Speed Force. And so Flash wants everyone to survive together, and one of the other Force users is a jerk. And he has like a mind control thing. So he possesses one of the other dudes to have them all fight between each other. So that's like, the end. We're all going to be fighting, all the Force users, while the one dude who's a jerk bailed. So I don't know. It's good. Joshua Williamson is doing a good job. I think it's way more interesting than Year One. Having a lot more fun with it. Justice League Dark is incredible. That's just one of my favorite books that DC is putting out constantly. So I can't recommend Justice League Dark enough. But yeah, I mean, read a lot more too, but
I really want to go back and read that annual you talked about, because I saw a lot of people talking about that Justice League Dark annual being really good.
Dude, you love sad stories, dude? There you go, man.
Dwayne didn't have it.
Trade. I want to go pick those up in trade, yeah.
I read the first 5-6 issues.
I think I got 2 or 3 issues in, maybe not even that many.
I would say like the beginning's kind of slow and rough, just because it has the tie-ins to the Wonder Woman kind of dark, whatever things going through that little tie-in event, whatever that was going on. Once you get past that and you already have a knowledge of past history and characters, what they've gone through, it gets way more interesting. So,
like the Odyssey came out, and then Justice League came out.
Yeah, dude. I think Odyssey,
and I just I can't read. I can't justify 3 Justice League books.
Odyssey.
That was my problem at the time.
I love Odyssey.
Yeah.
I love Odyssey. Last Odyssey issue, Jessica Cruz died, dude. Fucking
what the hell, man?
Blast her with her laser eyes.
She's coming back.
Those she'll be back. But those Green Lanterns books, when they first did Rebirth or whatever, dude, I love Jessica Cruz. I love that story.
Green Lanterns?
Yeah, great book.
Without a doubt, was such a good book.
Yeah, that was good. I really liked Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps more, and then towards the end, I liked Green Lanterns better.
I could get into Hal Jordan, but those 2 new ones, yeah, man, I got into Simon and Jessica. Like, man.
It was so bad that I dropped them. This may have been before Gaumer even came on the show. I dropped them, and a few weeks went by, and I was like, "Damn, man, what's Jessica up to?"
Exactly.
I had to go back to it, and I added it back again.
Who's Jessica?
Yeah. Such good character.
She knows.
Such good characters.
She knows. She's got an outfit and everything.
She's like, who's in that book? I'm like, yeah, look at that. Let's get into
it.
Outright Geekery. Adam, wake up. Book of the week. OutRightGeekery.com, your one-stop shop for news, reviews, previews, podcasts, everything geek at your fingertips. I wish we still had the paid version of StreamYard. I would drop that sweet logo on you, but we don't. So go to OutRightGeekery.com. Outright Geekery Book of the Week. Adam?
Yeah.
What's up?
So Tommy Gun Wizards.
Who's streaming Netflix at your house right now?
Yeah.
What? Oh, I don't know. It just hit that. No one, no one's streaming Netflix.
His wife's downstairs just uploading 3 videos to YouTube in her Jessica Cruz outfit. What's that link? Hit me with that link real quick.
Yeah. Let me see if I'm doing something. I'm seeing if it'll help. And I will have random. I did have a random review, but
do it.
Oh, Boogie's just so used to skipping you. You just
I know. So
it has nothing to do with Adam. I'm just looking at the time.
Number 1.
Oh, is Adam frozen?
Oh no.
Oh, he's frozen.
Canif lettering by Hassan.
Oh, wow. He's acting like Gaumer.
I mean,
I don't lag like that, do I?
Can you all still hear me?
Barely.
Yeah, you're just lagging a little bit, bro. Keep going. Sounds great.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, whatever. I'll run through this. Alternate 1920s, 30s Prohibition era Chicago. Not only is alcohol banned, but there's a black drug called lick that unlocks magical abilities. Character Elliot Ness and his team of I guess they're the cops, the gumshoes or whatever you want to call them. Not the gumshoes.
They're like the R's,
the Untouchable.
Yeah.
The R's.
R's, that's a good word. They're fighting this this magical drug. It's spread. Al Capone runs multiple bars dealing in this substance, and Ness is going after them. And of course, there's people out there that believe there's nothing wrong with taking part in lick. That's pretty much it. It's not only prohibition, but it's a prohibition with this magical substance.
Yeah, man. Who doesn't like a good lick?
It's Harry Potter meets prohibition.
Dude, I've got Harry Potter meets Dick Tracy.
Yeah. So
in my notes.
Yay. That's it.
I've got boring in my notes.
It's literally Untouchables with magic. Yeah, Kristen Ward does a great job at doing art, but this was not great. It was good. It's a great premise. The art was just passable. I sort of like the way that Christian Ward built the story, where he had this reporter go up and say, "Oh, well, what about these guys?" And then he gave the whole rundown of the guy who was on Ness's team. I thought that was a unique way to do it based on the time period he was telling the story in, the 20s and 30s. But yeah, it could have.
He's a homosexual. What?
Exactly.
You didn't put he's a straight dude. The next guy didn't have that he was straight. Why not? Why didn't you have that he was straight? I don't understand. We're talking about sexuality in the panels. Why didn't you put that he was straight?
Yeah, I'm
just confused. I wanted to know what guy 2 through 8. I wanted to know what their sexuality was. It wasn't in there. Why was that not in there?
I remember that part.
Oh, I know why. Because you have an agenda to push. So you take your book and you can take it over here because it sucked, and I'm not going to read it.
Yeah.
Dude,
even that aside, I was not a fan of this.
We should bring him on to the podcast.
Let's do it. Let's do it because I would love to ask him why he felt the need to put somebody's sexuality in their description. I would love to ask him that.
I'm a huge Christian Ward fan too for his art. Like he's amazing. He did an awesome job on Black Bolt and like a lot of other stuff. Like he did some sick ass Barbarella covers. I love that dude. And like I was really looking forward to this. I'm like, oh, cool. He wrote it too. Like
cool
really
premise.
And I thought I was like too drunk when I read it, because I was like, this makes no sense. Right. And because I came in from the bar and like read it after working. It was like 4 a.m. and I'm like trying to read this book. I'm like, what is going on? Maybe I'm too tired or drunk. I don't understand anything what's going on. And then I tried rereading it again. I'm like, yeah, this is just nonsense.
There was no character development.
Exactly.
When you read Mountainhead, there was authentic character development from beginning to end. And then you read this and it's like, take that, take this, take that, take that. And I'm going to write little boxes that tell you who these characters are. Why? Because you can't write it. You can't authentically tell me a story. I did not like this.
I don't know. I think I was looking forward to it for like so much. So like,
so was I. This was my pick.
Up in my head too much is maybe why. I don't know, man.
I picked this for Book of the Week, and I was so disappointed in it.
Yeah, I got $1.99 on this.
That's what I'm rating. $1.99.
Yeah, sure. It was way too much of a rocky road.
It was a good premise. I would say it's a
good
premise.
It's a great premise.
Yeah, Chicago, the mob, the 30s.
Yeah, plus
replacing alcohol with this magic.
That's a great premise, dude.
And if you're a fan of alternate history,
Sure.
it should be something that they would like, but I'm not sure.
Drop the ball. They dropped the ball.
It was definitely a drop ball. Yeah, I'm not following this. I'm off of it.
Yeah, man. Same.
Would you rate it, Jason?
$1.99.
All of us $1.99.
I mean, you could do so much cool stuff with this, with the premise. It's like, it just didn't make sense, dude.
Even the Magic-y bar fight seemed weird when he got the bartender to help him. It was like, why? Why not do some cool? You guys are doing magic. Why not do magic back? That's what the reporter was griping about. Oh, your team of magic cops do magic too. They're talking about doing it to get the bathtub water hot. I mean, I don't know. It was a lot of could have been and should have been, but never was.
Could have, should have, would have. There's, again, too many good books out there to stick around for something like this.
Exactly.
So we'll move on.
Exactly.
That's going to pretty much wrap it up for ComicCast issue 159. Guys, next week we will be back to the regular recording time of 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guess what? We have another guest coming on. This should be
Captain
fun.
Picard.
David Pepos, writer, creator of Spencer and Locke. And also next week, he's got a new book coming out, Going to the Chapel #1.
It's rad.
Coming out from Action Lab Danger Zone. So when you hit the comic book shop on New Comic Book Day, pick this up because we're going to be picking his brain about it next week. Again, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Jason, where can they find you on the old Twitter machine?
You can find me at Jason Cantu 1.
Adam.
Oh.
They can find me at Mountainhead.
Mountainhead.
Hashtag I need some Mountainhead.
Getting Mountainhead.
Nothing wrong with Mountainhead, bro.
Right, there's nothing
Do the
wrong.
do, bro.
The altitude makes it so much cooler.
Oh, wow. Gomer.
I'm at Gaumer.
I'm at Boogie Bentley. Do us a favor before you get out of here. Smash that like button. If you're listening to this after the fact, leave us a comment and be sure to subscribe. That's going to wrap it up. We'll see you guys next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with David Pepos.